Hello, everyone. I am Allison, and with me, as always, is Tyler, and we are recapping the first four seasons of Stranger Things to celebrate the upcoming premiere of season five. What, the first four episodes of season five?
The
The end of
first
the
four
month.
episodes, yeah.
First four
Yeah.
episodes in on Thanksgiving, whatever. So, anyway, we're recapping season two this evening. Not the most popular season. There's not a bad season. Okay? But this isn't the greatest. If I had to pick a season that was terrible, it would be two. But before we get started, Tyler, I
Yes.
just have to know one thing. Do you speak basic?
Oh, I kind of knew what he meant by that, like basic coding,
Do
right?
you
Is that
know
what
what
he
it
means?
do you know what it means?
Is it like binary numbers, like 0 1 0 1 1 1 1 1 0 0, like that
No,
kind of thing?
it's a
Okay. Teach
computing
me what
term.
basic is.
First of all, BASIC was created in the 60s,
Okay.
okay? And it's kind of a starter kit for learning how to use a computer. It stands for Beginners All Purpose Symbolic Instruction Code. And it's
Gotcha.
created for students and beginners to write programs and teaching you how to type and do all the it's basically
Basic. Yeah.
learning to type and do all the things. So when Bob says to Hopper during this, the end of the season, wait a minute, do you speak basic? I don't know what that means exactly. Now you
Is that
know.
the origin? Is that the origin of the word basic? Like, did the word basic exist before it became like a synonym or whatever for this computer thing in the 80s slash 60s?
Tyler, I hate to
What?
break it to you, but the word basic has been around since English was invented. It didn't just come
Well,
along
yeah,
with
I know, but like,
computers.
well, you never know. I don't know the origin of the
No, you
word
do know,
basic.
and wow. Is this what it's like when I ask a question?
Maybe.
Is this what it feels like? What the hell?
Listen,
Listen,
I'm too busy setting my blue like mood lighting for the upside down here.
I'm telling you, listen,
But keep going. I'm
it
listening.
it evolved. Basic actually evolved into visual basic, which is what it is called and used as today. So, because people
Okay.
back in the 80s and the 60s said if you didn't really have home computers until the 80s, it was one big like station. Okay, you had floppies. I could tell a story about me and a floppy disk, but we'll wait. Anyway, so it was terrible. Me and the floppy. I hate the floppy. Anyway, so I'm gonna let Tyler take control, but I'm going to butt in and interrupt like I normally do with
Well, yeah, no,
tidbits from the
well,
80s.
I guess like I kind of walked away from watching this season of Stranger Things feeling a little like about it as well. Like I feel like the diehard fans of Stranger Things, like they go on Reddit and they say like Stranger Things 2 is like actually the best season, blah blah blah. And so every time I watch the second season, I'm like, okay, maybe I gotta like really tune into something here that's gonna like change my mind this time. But no, I feel like the season one was such a tight story, and I feel like everything was woven together so well. I feel like instead, like the stakes got a lot more dire this time. Like the end of season two was crazy, but the
No, yeah.
build up to there kind of felt like a light switch, right? Like it was kind of boring, and like nothing was going on for the first half except for Elle and Hopper just fighting at each other in the cabin, which
There's
is
a lot of
so annoying to me.
overreacting by children in this
Yeah.
season. Two in particular, Mike and Elle, 11,
Yes.
whatever.
And
Just having moments.
I did watch episode 7 this time as well. So I have some like fresh takes on the lost sister or whatever that episode is
You
called.
know,
The one that I usually skip.
I think that season 2 introduced us to number 8, which actually brings us to episode 1, or I'm
Mhm.
sorry, chapter 1,
Yes,
as
chapter
they
one.
refer
Yes,
to it.
thank
Chapter
you.
1, which is Mad Max. And the opening sequence is 8, number 8, Callie, I believe
Mhm.
is her name, Callie.
Yeah.
Um, her gift is hallucinations. I think it's mind control. Like you hallucinate, you see things that aren't there. You know, these cops are chasing her and her little band of whatever in a van, and she makes them see a wall or something. You know, and it's not really there, and her nose bleeds, and we don't see her again until episode 7. I am a firm believer, Tyler. I'm going to tell
I'm
you
ready.
right now.
I'm ready for whatever you're about to say.
If they had put more into the number 8 storyline, like if we didn't just get a quick cameo in the first episode and then we don't see her again till 7, you know, we could like what they couldn't put her in episode 8. So 8 would be in number 8. That's just me. But anyway, you know, I think if they had paid more attention to her and maybe given her more of a storyline, I don't know. I feel like why introduce someone like that to just have them just be separated? I feel very strongly we're going to see her in season 5.
I agree
And
with
if
that, and I'm glad because I feel like to answer your question, Allison, like I feel like they did this just to give Millie Bobby Brown like a bottle cap episode by herself to show off her acting skills or something. And the whole premise just kind of fell flat. And more so the timing of this bottleneck episode, like a bottle whatever. What's it called? Like a an episode or you know what I mean? Like
it's
when
a
it's like a singular
filler,
character.
it's a bottle, it's
Yeah,
just something that we could have got. It didn't need full 60 minutes. We could have done this in 10. Okay? 10. Come on, people.
totally.
Yeah.
And it comes at a point where like the action is really rising, like back in Hawkins. Like I think it's when like the Demogorgons are like escaping the tunnel, like about to like take over the entire lab, right? So to like have this action and then let's just stop and go somewhere else. It's giving The Walking Dead and not in a good way.
I'm going to tell you, see, it comes up every time. I'm going to tell you something
It does.
right now. I stuck it out for 10 years with The Walking Dead. I stuck it out for 6 with what was it, 4? I don't even know how long. It felt like an eternity with Lost. I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
And
6 seasons.
and this is a great show. The other 2, I'm sorry, I'll die on that sword. We can talk about those 2 some other, but I'm telling you, Stranger Things is so good. The Duffer Brothers are telling us every everything will be answered in the final season. Let me tell you something. Don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. I'm serious.
I believe
I've been
them.
down this
I
rabbit
believe them.
hole. I've been down
Same.
this
But
rabbit hole twice. And the only reason why I'm believing them is because it's such a great show.
yes, I agree. I agree. I do think that they're going to stick the landing. Okay, so back in Hawkins, here we are, episode 1 or chapter 1, excuse me. Chapter 1's titled Mad Max in all caps. So the party heads to the arcade because there's someone who got the new high score in the arcade game, I think Dig Dug, and it's Mad Max. So they're like, who is this person? Like, how dare they take over our high score? Dustin in particular is like really freaking out about it. And then Will starts to like feel something in the back of his neck and like getting some chills. So he goes outside of the arcade and he sees like the dust, the like spores in the air, like from the upside down, right? And he's like, what's going on? So he goes back inside, and then the whole arcade just kind of like flips, right? Like a light switch to the upside down version. And he like runs outside. He like sees the mind flayer outside, like, and this mind flayer is huge. It's like a big like spider like black fog creature thing that is like pointing its head like towards like the arcade a little bit. Will gets his first glance at the mind flayer, and then Mike snaps him out of it, and he's like back to the right side up. So my first question is like, is Will like, are we seeing him like physically switch locations to the upside down, or do you interpret that more as like he is kind of seeing like a nightmare in his head, seeing like connecting with the mind flayer or something in a mysterious, ominous way, or do you think he actually like switched to the upside down?
I believe this is what they refer to ad nauseum, especially Mike Wheeler, as the now memories, which,
Yes.
goddamn, that makes no sense. But anyway, I feel like that's what he was doing. He was having a flashback, but but he's in the now. He's in the now. Just then, just now. When? Just then, now. We're in the now. But anyway, is this a year after season 1? It's got to be a year after season 1. Okay.
Yeah, it's a year
I was trying to remember. Okay. So I think for the last year, Will's been fine, I think, but I don't know, because at the end of season 1, when did he cough up Dart? When did he?
At
I'm
Christmas.
telling you. Okay, so because I'm convinced that was Dart. I don't care what anybody says, that was Dart. But anyway,
I agree with that.
Yeah, I really do. I've said it. It's Three Musketeers. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going. Please continue.
So first glance at Hopper, he gets a call. Or no, we cut to the police station. We see Hopper for the first time, and this crazy conspiracy theory guy named Murray is at the station
pumpkin
already.
Patches.
This is our first glance at Murray. So how would you describe Murray, Allison? Like yeah, go ahead. You're much more able to.
I'm sorry, you cut out. I think I froze for a split second. I thought you were talking about the pumpkin.
Oh, you're good. Fields. You're good. I said, can you give a brief explanation of who Murray is as a character?
Murray is my husband. I am literally married to Murray Bum. I'm not kidding. My husband believes aliens are coming. They were supposed to be here in November, but it got postponed to December. And, he is all into conspiracy theories. We will be sitting on the couch and he'll just say, "Hey, did you hear about such?" I go, "No, I didn't, because I'm in the real world, dude. Like, I'm in reality. I'm in the now memories. Okay. I'm not trying to hear about aliens or any kinds of crazy shit. I'm not trying to hear about, herpy monkeys falling off of freaking trucks in Mississippi. No, I didn't hear about that. No. That's actually real news, by the way. Look it up. So I think that he is a conspiracy theorist, but because of it's so easy to brush off someone like him and not take him seriously. If it were me, I would be listening to every single thing that Maury says. Maury Bub, I swear to God, he's right about everything. He pretty much is. And plus, it's the 80s. And I'm telling you, every father that I came across in the 80s, the Russians, everything's the Russians. I'm telling you, everything is the Russians. Everything.
Well, yeah, that's what he tries to warn Hopper about when Hopper pulls up to the station. That they're Russian spies in Hawkins, including a girl with psychic abilities. And Hopper just kind of like, brushes him off like you're just a crazy conspiracy theorist. Right. He also gets a call at the station that a guy's pumpkin patch has been infected with some kind of poison, and then that they're all ruined. So what's going on? Maybe some like rivalry. Pumpkin patches trying to destroy each other's like crops and revenue because it's right around Halloween time. So Hopper's like, all right, I'll take note of that. Then we cut to the high school. We see this car. I'm not sure what car it is. It's Billy's car. But maybe you could tell me the make and model, Allison, because I'm not sure.
Oh, God. Like it's a Camaro. Oh, hold on. I'm going to tell you. Billy's car in straight. I'm telling you, I was thinking about that earlier. It is a Camaro. It is a 1979 Chevy Camaro Z28. God dang it. I looked it up earlier. It's always a Camaro. Every asshole drives a Camaro. I'm sorry. If you drive a Camaro and you're a nice person, you don't count, but you're a dime a dozen. But yeah, he's in the Camaro with his little fluffy mullet and his acid wash. extremely tight
Tight
jean
jeans.
jacket and button. When I was in high school, if a guy came into school with his chest hanging out, they would have that buttoned all the way up. I guess I don't know, but I have no problems with Billy walking around with his shirt open or anything else very tight. It just is.
Yeah. So this is our first introduction to Billy. So Billy is Max's older stepbrother, and he is just the typical like greaser douche. I don't know. He's got like the hair perm. He's got like the jean jacket, the tight jeans. He's like smoking a cigarette, and all the girls are like chewing their bubble gum, like eyeing him up and down while he walks off in his tight jeans. And then we see Max get out of the car as well. And she joins the science class where the party is for the first time. So this is our first introduction to
and the
Max
party.
Mayfield.
Explain the party real quick in case someone's tuning in for the first time.
They look like this is the first time they've ever seen a girl, like ever in their entire lives.
Right.
They have
But
no
who's
idea
the
what to
party?
do with themselves.
Who's the party?
Oh, the party. Yeah. So that is that's Mike, Will, Dustin, and Lucas. So all four of them are like they turn over their shoulder. They're like, who is this girl like joining class for the first time? And she looks I don't know why this like stuck out to me this time, but like Max looks so tan, especially in this scene compared to like how pale she is for like the rest of the show, and especially like season 4. Did you clock that? Did you notice that?
The first time I ever watched season 2, I thought to myself, they are trying to lead us to believe that a redhead can tan. No, they can't. You put the spray tan on the poor girl. All she does is grow more freckles. Yeah, no, They even did that to Billy, if because I paid very close attention to Billy's skin, and it started out tan, and then as he spiraled in season 2 down, he got paler. I mean, he still has skin color, but yeah, their tans definitely kind of fade out. But yeah, I noticed it. Trust me.
So we cut to Nancy and Steve, like they're seemingly happy. They're like kissing in the hallway and stuff like that. They get invited to a Halloween party, and Nancy decides to invite Jonathan. They're all like passing out flyers for this party. Is that how like parties were communicated back then?
You're asking me as if I were invited. I don't know.
Well, you had a face like, oh yeah, I remember this.
Here's the thing. In 1984, I was 7. And if you had a birthday party and you gave out invitations in your little 3rd grade, whatever grade I was in, 2nd grade, everyone got an invitation, even me. Gotcha. You couldn't leave anybody out. Now, whether or not even then I was like, that means I have to leave the house. I'm not going. Little 7-year-old Allison even then was like, I'm not doing it. But no, I honestly don't ever remember being in school and flyers being handed out for anything other than ordering books and shit or cookies. I don't
know. We cut back to the science class, and Will gets taken from school for his like regular testing at like the Hawkins lab, like hospital wing that they have set up. Hopper's like hanging out right outside the lab, and he tells Joyce like, listen, if anything feels sketchy, if anything feels weird, like call me, please. Let's see. Dustin and Lucas later watch Max from afar at the arcade, and it seems like both of them are crushing on her, and like they confirm that she is in fact Mad Max. But I don't know. Interesting to see like right away that like there's a little bit of tension between Dustin and Lucas this season, and I feel like it doesn't reach like rivalry or like a serious thing, but like there's definitely some like not tension, but just I don't know, like preteens like trying to figure out their feelings. Like they don't know how to navigate this new girl. They don't know like who is going to succeed, and you know what I mean. Like it's just like a lot of new awkward feelings, and
it's awkward because the last girl they were around, Mike pretty much yelled dibs on her the minute she arrived, and whatever. But I think, do you know what Mad Max is from? Do you know what that's an ode to?
It's a movie, right?
It's a Mel Gibson movie.
Okay,
It is
I
the
didn't know that.
sequel to oh God, The Road Warrior. There's The
Okay.
Road Warrior, Mad Max, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. They remade Mad Max in 2015, and then they did the I want to say furry Furiosa film spinoff, all that. So it's a
Thank you for
whole
not saying
thing. But
furry.
Mel Gibson in 1979 was put on the map by The Road Warrior. It's what made him famous. It's actually an Australian film because he's Australian. But anyway,
Right.
that's where it came from. You're
So,
welcome.
thank you for that. Cut to Steve and Nancy. They decide to get dinner with Barb's parents, and they tell them that they have hired Murray to investigate Barb's case of going missing. And Nancy excuses herself to go to the bathroom, and it's just like all of this is just like eating up Nancy. Like she just has so much
Oh
guilt over knowing that Barb is dead, but she can't like let her parents like move on from this. And again, like justice for Barb, and Nancy will stop at nothing until justice is served. I'm telling you.
You know what
Um,
the best thing to do is when you're feeling guilty and have bottled up feelings? Go and getting drunk at a Halloween party.
yeah, exactly. Just go get pissed drunk and then
Can't
just call
wait.
everything bullshit.
Yeah.
So Will gets taken home after his testing. Everything is like fine. But he wakes up in the middle of the night to go pee and notices the front door to his house is
Mhm.
like creaking open. So he walks outside and it flips to the upside down again. And you see the mind flayer like crawling towards the buyer's house. And this thing is huge. Like it's like bigger than their house. It's like bigger than like the school like gym that we see at like the end of the season. So there is this like big, like dooming threat over Hawkins, over the upside down, and for some reason it has this fixation, this interest on Will.
Yeah.
And then we get Hopper. He heads home, and spoiler for you, 11 is staying in Hopper's cabin, and that's the end of the first episode.
Yeah. Spoiler, it's been 8 years since it came out. So where you been?
Yeah. So chapter 2, Trick or Treat Freak. Flashback to what happened to Elle at the school. So like they show her like doing the hand to the Demogorgon, and then she like somehow gets like taken to the upside down, and she's like running through the hallways, and then she finds like another portal at school to the right side up and walks through it and just leaves the school and just starts like walking through the woods. Then we cut to present day. She is talking with Hopper. She's getting like pretty frustrated that like it's been like like months. It's been like almost a year at this point. And
Oh
Hopper
no,
keeps
it's
promising
been
her.
360 something days. Like three, no, over like it's been 372 days. Like the girl has a precise number. She's been counting.
Yeah, yeah. And she's been like all this time she's been like mind tapping into Mike just to like check on him, but like not making any contact or anything. But that's kind
Mm.
of her only source of entertainment besides like that and like a television. Like she is like just so stir crazy, understandably so. Like she is just so stir crazy. This is like not like a life that she wants to live. Just like sitting in this dark cabin with like no blinds
Mm.
up and like not really experiencing the world and everything. So I
Would
get
you?
the frustration.
Yeah. Would you say that since she can tap in and watch other people live their everyday lives, that she's created her own reality TV?
Oh, maybe. Is she the creator of reality? That sounds like a bad like
Reality.
Ellen. That sounds like a bad like Ellen DeGeneres TV channel or something.
It's a terrible
um,
joke.
so Halloween is approaching. The kids, the party dresses up as Ghostbusters for school, and I love this like montage of like the pictures like that Karen Wheeler is like taking like Polaroids, and then like Dustin's like all excited, like all of that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Mike has to be
and
a
Erica's
bitch.
first line, "You are such a nerd," while his mom is taking pictures. So that is our
Oh,
first like proper
yeah.
intro to Erica Sinclair as well.
You are a
Um,
nerd. I love
so
it.
the kids go to school and they realize that the only ones dressed up for Halloween, and they did not get the memo that that is no longer cool. which I love. Like this is just like when I say like the start of Stranger Things 2 is pretty slow, I mean like we're not getting to the action. Like we're just sitting in like teen drama for a little bit.
How,
And
what grade are they in? I'm curious. They're in middle
gosh,
school.
maybe they're middle school, so maybe like 7th grade.
Sorry, excuse me.
That's
I've
too
got a
old.
cat. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay, done. Um, I got a cat on my desk. Okay, I was just curious because there does come a certain time where you don't really dress up anymore. Like you maybe wear a cute outfit or put some extra makeup on, or because it's that
Yeah,
age you're
but
kind
not
of
like a
getting.
full
Oh, I'm
blown.
not a kid anymore. I don't want to do that. But
Exactly,
still cute.
exactly.
Anyway, yeah, yeah.
Um, so back at home, Joyce finds one of Will's sketches and recognizes it's an exact match to the backyard. So like he's been like drawing a bunch. He's been
Mm-hmm.
drawing like the mind flayer kind of approaching the buyer's house. So she like takes the sketch up to the backyard and like she sees that it's like picture perfect, like matching up. So Joyce is like starting to feel that like some shit's going down, but we're not sure yet.
Okay.
So let's see what's next. Sorry, I lost my place in my notes.
Well, they're trick or treating, and we've
Mhm.
been introduced to Joyce's boyfriend Bob, played by Sean
Yes.
Astin, who is Patty Duke's son, and the original at the father go whatever his name, the father from the Addams Family. Anyway, so Sean Astin from the Goonies, y'all have no idea what I'm talking about. He was in the Goonies and all that. He's introduced as Bob, works at Radio Shack. He like was a crazy cool place to work back in the 80s, and it is a freaking Radio Shack. He has a video camera and he loans it to Will to take trick or treating. And he's, key. Everybody's excited. We had a camera like this. I want to tell you something. I used to hook up our VHS camcorder to my little TV in my bedroom so I could watch
Yeah.
VHS movies. And sometimes it depended on the speed because you had three speeds. You had EP, LP, and one other P. There was three modes, and if it was in the slowest mode, you were fine. But if it was an EP, you were fucked. You couldn't watch anything. But anyway, that's beside the point. So he takes the camera and he's filming and everything, and you take it, boss, Tyler.
Yeah, so yeah, sorry, I have my notes now. So like they're out trick-or-treating, right? And well, first like they invite Max, and Max like turns them down at first, but then she does show up. She shows up as Michael Myers and scares them. And Lucas's like high-pitched like girly scream is so funny. It's so good.
There's nothing funnier than a
But
man screaming like a girl.
Right. And Mike is very reluctant for Max to be accepted into the party. He doesn't like it. He kind of feels like she's like replacing Elle in like a
No,
weird way.
he's not happy unless he has someone in the group to be a bitch to. There's always one person he has to completely be a bitch to, and she's going to be it.
And Max is not the person to do that to, for sure.
He's not the one.
But yeah, so some bullies like scare Will, like they call him Zombie Boy, and then Will gets spooked and he like drops the camcorder. He like switches to the upside down again for a second, sees the mind flayer, and then decides to go home. Let's cut to the Halloween party. Nancy is drinking heavily. Her and Steve start like fighting about like one more drink or no, and then like she yanks the drink, it spills all over her. And then she goes to the bathroom.
Red drink on a white shirt.
She tells Steve, like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. All of it is bullshit. Like,
oh, no, you got to say it right. You've got to say it right.
It's bullshit.
Bullshit. It's
bullshit, Steve.
Like, she's spitting on Steve. Poor Steve, who's done a 180, and he's in it. He loves her, and he's trying to help her. And I just want to give a shout out to Joe Keery as Steve. Amazing job of first not hitting a bitch, and two, just the look of just hurt and just anguish, like on his face. because when you're drunk, your inhibitions are gone. And most of the time, you kind of are speaking truth, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
she's just like, I
Absolutely.
don't love you. He goes, you don't love me. And she goes, it's bullshit. I, I don't love you. Our love is bullshit. And he freaking goes, you know what? Fine. He leaves. And I think Jonathan steps in
Yeah.
and takes her
He
home.
takes her
Yeah.
home. Yep. And then and then we cut to Justin discovering a little frog, a toad or a frog or like a baby demogorgon, not sure what, just kind of some like sluggy, upside down looking monster in his trash.
Something
And
I would
that
have
is
stepped on.
for sure
Forget.
right. I really don't like this plot for Dustin, to be honest. Like it's pretty frustrating to me the whole season,
Yeah.
and it ends up in a cat being eaten alive, which we'll get into pretty soon.
Well,
Which I can't wait to hear your thoughts about.
you know, we get into chapter 3, the
Mhm.
Pollywog,
Yes.
and he names the little thing D'Artagnan after one of the Three Musketeers, and ironically, he likes Three Musketeers candy bars, and his next name is Dart.
I'm
Nickname is
changing my
Dart.
light because I don't like this blue light.
You're fine. He puts it in a tantarium, aquarium,
Terrarium? Terrarium? A frog terrarium?
terrarium. I can't say it, but you know what I'm saying. Puts it in there and realizes it does not like the heat. It does not like heat. And so, yeah, little Dart. And he does not tell them about this at first, does he? Or does he like bring it to school?
He brings it to school, so they like can decide like what to do with it together. But he does keep it overnight until he like tells them. In the meantime, Will like tells Joyce that like he's having nightmares. He's like seeing like the mind flare. He's like experiencing the upside down, and like he just has this like feeling of like terror. And Bob gives him the worst advice in the world the next morning when he is driving Will to school. So Bob says, listen, like I used to have like nightmares as a kid, and I would just like let this monster like take over, and all of a sudden one day, I don't know what got into me, but in my nightmares, I just stood my ground and I said, I just shouted, "Go away," multiple times, and eventually he did. And this is such terrible advice because of what happens later to Will. But
I feel like this advice will be in a now memory in season 5 when Will is making his stand against everything and in the upside down, and he hears Bob's echoing is, I stood my ground and looked at that monster and said, "Go away." That's like when my grandfather told me to yell Jesus when I was afraid of Satan. And I've been doing it ever since, but that's neither here nor there.
I mean, do that to like a little bug. Don't do that to like a huge mind flayer that's like about to like suck like your soul.
But you have to think about it. Bob doesn't really know what happened.
Sure.
Like, he doesn't know that there's an upside down and all this stuff. First of all, Bob would have never loaned that camcorder. Let me tell you something right now. I wouldn't have loaned a camcorder to a 12-year-old.
That's a lot of trust.
At all. That's a lot of trust. But then again, kids were different in the 80s. I'm sorry, y'all. They were much more responsible. And he really did but he dropped it. He even says something to Joyce, I noticed it got banged up, and I looked at the video and I see some kids bullying him. And Joyce does that thing where she hooks up and is that where she traces it with the paper?
I think that's in that is in this episode, but like a little bit later. But yeah, we can talk about it now. She rewatches the footage and she pauses on like a frame and she sees there's like a lot of like static noise on the TV screen, except for around like what like outlines like the mind flare. And then Joyce, she takes like a piece of Will's like notebook paper and a crayon and like traces over the mind flayer. So now she sees like the mind flayer monster herself. So she like totally believes that something's happening. In the meantime, Hopper realizes like all the pumpkin patches affected are all in this like radius that circle the Hawkins lab. And it always like, these first few seasons, like everything always goes back to the Hawkins lab. Like if there's any
Just look
questions, if
around
there's
the lab. That's all you got to
exactly.
do.
Exactly. And while Hopper is like doing all of this, Elle decides to break out of the cabin for the first time. Like she, he's told her that, like, these are like, don't be stupid rules. So don't go out of the cabin, never draw the blinds, like any of that stuff.
She's had
And
enough.
so
She's done with the
she has had
mind
enough.
stalking. Yeah, she's done
Yeah.
with I'm done stalking via my mind. I got to do it in person now. I got to
Yeah.
go spy. I got to do
Yeah.
it. So yeah.
Dustin shows the party the demo slug is what I'm calling it. And Allison, you were right. Like Will like straight up confirms that like, oh, that's probably the slug that I puked at the end of season 1.
So it's literally Will's baby.
That is dark. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Hopper goes to Hawkins' lab and he tells Dr. Sam, like, listen, like, you need to clean this shit up. Like the agreement is like, I won't like tell on like whatever you guys are doing, but like whatever you guys are doing has to stop like affecting the town. So Hopper's telling them that like something's going on. It's weird. Just stop. Like, I don't want to know anymore, but like, just stop. Nancy convinces Jonathan to skip class and join her to go home to call Barb's parents to meet with them in person at the park. Like Nancy
wait a
wants
minute.
to
You
tell
left out
them
something. You
What did I
left
leave
out
out?
something very important. And
me.
I just, as an honorable mention, the basketball showdown between Billy and Steve right before.
Oh, yeah.
Nancy
Shirts
comes
versus
up
pins.
to the school because she's like, I don't know who brought me home. I don't know how I got in bed. It was Jonathan. She goes up. She conveniently had a blackout. Please, you're too young to have a blackout.
I've told him. I've never once. I don't know if like you have more experience with this than I do, but
I do actually.
I have never once not remembered everything that happened the night before if I was like heavily drinking. Like I've never experienced like a blackout.
Blackouts are caused, it's brain damage, too much alcohol. It's brain damage. That's what it is. And I'm just like, a lot of kids black out. Yeah, okay, I believe. But I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I will say that I remembered everything. And then when I thought I was black, I wasn't blacking out. A honest to God blackout, you really don't remember anything. It will eventually come back to you in little snippets, but you still don't. You still don't know if it really happened. JoJo's trying to black out the show. But anyway,
exactly.
She has this blackout. I'm still talking about cat's ass. And Steve out of Steve has been playing basketball with it's skins versus shirts. And Billy's obviously a skin. And he is slam dunking, baby.
Yeah.
He is doing it. And he is putting Steve in his place and all that. Anyway, so she takes him out of gym class, which I guess you can do that, and nobody gives a shit.
I guess so, yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. I don't know. Nobody ever took me out of class. Then they try to put me back in class. Anyway, so what happened? I don't know. And he's like, why don't you ask Jonathan? You told me everything was bullshit. They basically, this is a breakup. They're done.
Yeah.
So Nancy does her Nancy thing and goes to Jonathan because that's what Nancy does. And then it's like, we need to go meet with Barb's parents in the park. And they go to the park.
And we see right away that like the telephone lines are like tapped again, right? So like the Hawkins lab is like listening in on this. And like we know like something's gonna go down in the park. Scary.
Oh yeah.
So we see Elle walk to school and she wants to make contact with Mike, but she sees him and Max bonding. So she mistakes it as flirting. So she like, Max is like on her skateboard. Like she's like, I can be like the Zoomer of the party or whatever. And then Elle just like, like flicks Max like off of her skateboard and makes her like fall on her back. Like, and then, so Mike like knows like, and Max says like, it's like a magnet like pulled me off of it or something, and Mike knows right away that like that's I think that might be 11. So he goes running. He can't find her. But man, they were so close to like making contact like so much sooner this season. And who knows like how the story of events would have changed after that. So let's see. So Dart like grows in size, and he escapes. But he finds Dart and hides him from the party after that. He like takes him home again.
Yeah, that's what
And
he like. Dustin is not honest about this. He's keeping the
and their
thing.
number one rule: friends don't lie. And like
Friends
Dustin is
don't
keeping
lie.
this thing from them.
Right. Excuse me. I'm just gonna.
Will then phases into the Upside Down while they're looking for Dart, and the Mind Flayer starts chasing him through school. He's like running through like the hallways of like the Upside Down version of school. He goes outside, and this is when Will shouts like, "Go away, I'm not leaving." And the Mind Flayer just, it's like Dementor Harry Potter style, like this like black smog like ink like goes through his eyes, his mouth, like he's just like, and then like we cut to, so now we're in like the 4th episode, Will the Wise, but it's like this scene like happens like right at the end and then right at the beginning. We get this like really awesome shot of like the camera like spinning around Joyce, like shaking Will, being like, wake up, Will. And he eventually, let's see, does he wake up out of that or does he pass out? I forget.
Don't forget that 11 was spotted by a woman and her little girl, and the cops were called. And this triggers Hopper to go home. And this episode, you know, they have it out. But anyway, I just remembered that too.
Oh, yeah. So Joyce tries waking Will up. He's outside with his eyes rolling in the back of his head. And she eventually wakes him up, and she tells Will, like, all right, it's time for you to tell me, like, everything. And he says, I don't know. It's almost like a feeling. I tried running, but it got me. I felt it everywhere. I still feel it. And I just want this to be over. So at this point, Allison, like, do you think, like, let's get into, like, theory time real quick. Like, do you think the Mind Flayer is, like, trying to use Will as, like, his eyes for, like, the right side up? Like, do you think that like Mind Flayer is like totally taken over Will at this point? Do you think that like there's any of like Will still left? Like,
okay,
my
whole theory is he has not been alone since he was taken and since he got back. He has not been alone. That thing or whatever has been with him this whole time. And I think
using him as like a spy,
studying everything, yes, as a spy, studying everything and figuring out, okay, I can do this and I can do that and all this. And then when it's time to act, he acts through Will, because he's obviously a spy, because everything that Will sees that he sees, right? So it's, it's no shock that, the Mind Flayer's in control of things, of course. And I just, I would have flipped out if I saw some kid in the middle of a field looking like they're having a seizure. I would have been calling 911s. It's crazy.
For real.
But Mama Joyce promised no more doctors. Well, Dr. Owens, but no more doctors, if he's a real doctor. But no more doctors.
Hopper gets home to his cabin, and this is when it's like the worst of it, in my opinion, with Elle and Hopper. Like, this is when like that famous line that's like, "You are like Papa," and it's just like it's like one too many scenes of this, in my opinion. Like, this is kind of like a low point for me this
Millie
season.
Bobby Brown was really pushing for that Emmy nod that year.
Yes,
which she didn't get, but she tried.
Joyce draws a bath for Will, and he tells her it's too hot and says he likes it cold. He doesn't say I want it colder. He says he likes it cold.
If my son were to tell me,
oh, go ahead.
No, if my son were to tell me something like that, I'd be like, okay, hold on. Are we talking about the Mind Flayer, or you've been spending a little too much time with Bob? What's going on here? I'm just curious.
Right.
What? It's just poor Will. It's just, this kid is so pale, and
I know.
Yeah.
he's being used as like a host. Like it feels so like invasive, you know.
I have a quick question. And am I lagging?
Yeah.
Am I lagging?
Not really. Like you were at the beginning, but you're better now.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
You good? You good? So we get to the park. I'm just gonna refer to them as Jancy from here on out. So Jancy notices some guys watching them at the park, and they decide pretty quickly, like, all right, like we gotta
You don't
leave.
like Nanathan?
They get to. I like Jancy better than Nanathan. They decide like, all right, let's ditch this. They get to Jonathan's car and it won't start, and people surround him. And so they get taken by these people to the Hawkins lab for questioning. They tell the people, they tell them the people who got Barb killed are gone, and like we've cleaned house, like we're much better now, we promise. But listen, like the more this gets out, like the more dangerous it could be for like a Russian takeover kind of thing. So like, please keep this quiet. And they give Jonathan the keys back to his car, and miraculously his car is working again, which is creepy.
Doesn't have a tracker
back
on
at the
it or
house.
anything.
Yeah, of course not. No. Back at the buyer's house, Will is frantically drawing just like page after page of just what looks like scribbles with crayons. Billy sees Max talking to Lucas and asks like, hey, who is that? You better not be hanging out with him. And I don't know if you get this vibe, but like to me, this feels very much so like 80s like racism.
Billy is a
like
low-key
right?
racist.
He doesn't like Lucas.
Yeah, he does not treat any of the other boys like this. He is like, no, he's very, he's not. Oh yeah, I picked up on that right away. I was like, yes, yeah, he doesn't like the black kids. He's terrible. He's a racist. Okay, here we go. Yeah.
So that's the end of chapter 4. So chapter 5 we have is called Dig Dug, which is named after an iconic arcade game that I have played before. So Joyce, so Hopper goes into the pumpkin patch and starts digging around, like trying to get some answers. Joyce has spent the entire afternoon putting these drawings, like all of Will's like seemingly random drawings. She's put them all over the walls and taped them together and figured out that this is some kind of like connected map. Like all these lines are like intersecting and stuff like that. Hopper breaks through the tunnel. So underneath the pumpkin patch are this like system of tunnels created by
digs it up. Yeah, he digs it up. Hopper makes the hole. He digs it up and he goes in.
Goes inside, and then he's like prodding at like the walls, prodding at like the vines and stuff like that, and then this like spore thing just kind of like spits like spore goo ooze.
Yeah.
Who
knows?
some kind of ejaculation. All over
Hopper might be spitting out babies here soon too.
Exactly. And then he gets like caught in the vines and he's like stuck in this tunnel system now. Nancy and Jonathan decide they need to go visit Murray and talk to him about like what he has found about like Barb's case. And they decide to get a motel for the night with 2 beds instead of one. And it is very like that. I'm like, come on, like let's just get to it. Dustin notices Dart has broken out of the turtle terrarium thing and has grown in size like quite a bit, and realizes this is kind of starting to become like a big problem. So he traps Dart in the basement, and he's like, all right, I'm just gonna like figure out like what to do next with him after this. I'm gonna go like find Mike and like tell him about it.
God, that's the last person I would tell anything to.
Who would you tell out of like the people? I would probably tell Nancy.
I would tell Steve.
Or Hopper.
I would tell Steve.
Yeah.
Steve is like the older brother. You can count on him. He's not going to sell you out. Look, I did something stupid. Yes, you're going to remind me constantly about it for the next 20 years, but I know you will help me. Yeah. That's who I would tell.
So Elle decides to find her mom by like mind tapping into her. And she is just staring blankly at a TV, muttering sunflower.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So Elle gets grounded for like 5
Yeah.
years for
Yeah.
busting out the windows and forcing Hopper to rip the TV out of the plug out of the wall. Anyway,
Yeah.
she's there. She finds these boxes up in the attic or something. And one
Mhm.
of them is the file on her mother. Where did Hopper get these from? What are these doing in Hopper's granddaddy's cabin? I mean,
I had
seriously,
the same question. Like, I wonder if, like, when all of this happened last year, if maybe Hopper, in exchange for keeping quiet, maybe he got some like papers that
okay,
he got to like research. I don't know. That I had that question too.
because that's how
So I'm glad I'm not
she
the only
finds
one.
out about her mama, about mama.
Yeah. So she finds her, and she's just like, her brain is just like zapped, basically. I don't know like anywhere else or any other way to describe it except for just like there's just like she can't even make like eye contact with Elle. She's
No,
just
she
like
stays
focusing on like the
rainbow,
TV the whole time.
rainbow, whatever.
Three to the
She's chanting
left, two to the right.
left,
Yeah.
right to right. You do the hokey
Um,
pokey and you turn yourself around.
Lucas tells Max everything about what happened last year. And of course, like Max like doesn't believe him at first. And then this scene gets interrupted by Billy showing up to the arcade. So like Max has to leave early. But like Max like very much so is like skeptical, understandably, about
And
like
Bill
everything that
was low key racist shit. What I
yeah.
tell you about
Oh, of
talking
course.
to that kid. And we left
Yeah.
out something. We left
She said,
out
"Don't call
something.
me out." She
Yeah,
knows that like
yeah.
Billy doesn't like him.
Listen, we forgot something, a Billy
Yeah.
side note. He literally almost committed vehicular manslaughter.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to run over Mike, Dustin, and Lucas in their Ghostbusters outfits on
Yeah.
Halloween. And, Sadie Sadie Sink, listen to me call like we're on a first name basis and hang out. Max
Me and
grabs
Sadie.
the steering wheel because he was fighting with her, like they were fighting in the
Yeah.
car, Billy and Max, and she said, I don't think he really would have hit him, but we've got to say something about it because his threats are not empty. These are
Yeah.
not empty
Totally.
threats.
This
And
guy's a dangerous dude with a
yeah,
temper.
and she knows it, and he does not like people of color, obviously. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Bob surprises Joyce by visiting home to bring Will some stuff to get better, and she says like, listen, like we're good, we got it. But then she's like, actually, maybe I could use his help like trying to figure out this. So she brings him in the house to like show him like all these like tunnels and stuff like that, and he like first thinks that it's crazy, but then he's like, oh, this is like a giant map of Hawkins, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And that really helps her narrow down like, all right, like where do we go next, right? Let's see. Hopper uses a lit torch, which is convenient that he has down there in the
Make
tunnels.
this torch? What did he
I know.
make this torch out of?
That torch looks straight out of Survivor. Like, let me tell you.
Is
this
Jeff
is a
going
little
to
too
come around
convenient.
and put it out and say the
The tribe has
Demogorgons
spoken.
have spoken?
Yeah. Let's see. So then Dustin goes to the Wheeler's house to talk to Mike. He isn't there, but Steve shows up to apologize to Nancy, and Dustin convinces him to take him home. Like Dustin's going to show Steve like the dart in the basement. Max back at home. Lucas shows up, knocks on the door. Thankfully, it's Max that answers the door because Billy is too busy working out, getting his pump
pumping
on
iron in his gym shorts.
Yeah. And so she like sneaks out of the back with Lucas. Cut to Murray's house. So Nancy reveals in her coat she had a tape recorder, so she recorded everything that the Hawkins lab were saying to Jonathan and Nancy, including a confession that Barb is dead, and they know about it.
I need further explanation. What kind of tape was this, Nancy? What speed was this tape? Was this a 60-minute tape? Was this a 180-minute tape? When exactly did you push record? I need more info, Nancy Drew. Come on.
Well, at least like a good enough time to at least get like a confession on tape. And she shows like she plays it for Murray, and Murray's like, listen, kid, that's not enough. And she's like, what do you mean? And he like takes out his like, was it vodka that he had? And he's like, time to pour a drink. And he's like, if we want the truth to come out, like we need to make it a version that like the people will believe. So like, do we say like it's some kind of like toxic waste dump that like killed Barb, like something they just start like theorizing about like,
oh my God, is it the toxic waste dump that they're trying to make happen on the morning show? Or did we just tie in the morning show to Stranger Things?
Is Bradley Jackson going to show up? Was Bradley Jackson born in the Upside Down? That would actually explain a lot.
Yes, it would. Everything.
Let's see. So then Elle, like we get a lot of like flashbacks at this time, like her mom, like it basically like, so she mind taps into her like brain dead mom, and her mom like through memories like shares the story about like how she gave birth via C-section, and Dr. Brenner was the one that took her baby and just like took Elle away.
Yeah, she signed up for these tests, right? And they started doing tests on her, and she didn't know she was pregnant. And then what was it? The doctor found out that, Papa found out, and he's like, well, we got to have this baby. That's it. And they do take the baby from her. Yeah. And then she tries to rescue her daughter years later. And can I just throw this out there? She's not that far from the lab. Mama is not that far. Like, she could have come up anytime. It did not take 4 years. It did not.
Yeah. Totally.
She's where you were.
And
you know what I'm saying?
So she like breaks into the lab. She shoots and kills a guard. She gets to the rainbow room. She sees Elle and Callie, and then she gets taken. Like, that's when she gets caught. And then she gets strapped down to a bed. They like plug like all these like electric socket thingies like into her brain and just like zap her until she's like brain dead permanently.
That lab that's it.
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you right now, the last place I am putting anything extremely top secret, like I'd have to kill you if you knew about it, would be the Hawkins lab. The security on that place is ridiculous. Anybody can walk in and break in, and this shit happens. It's terrible. It doesn't matter what decade it's in, but yeah.
Apparently the website crashed for the first 5 minutes. So JJ Gaines 2000, if you like, let us know, keep us updated on this. So then Will is able to like track down like where Hopper is in the tunnels because he's like connected to the Mind Flayer now. He tells Joyce and Bob to go there. So Will, Mike, Bob, and Joyce find Hopper's car at like where he was digging in the pumpkin patch. They go down and they find Hopper there. Hawkins' lab shows up to that spot as well, and they start torching the tunnels, and Will starts spazzing out and shaking like he's having a seizure.
Will's doing his thing again. Somebody check on him.
So this is where shit like really starts like ramping up, in my opinion. Like, you know how I said like it was kind of like a slog to start? Like, this is when I feel like it just like goes from like 0 to 100 in terms of just like the intensity of the season. Now we're on chapter 6, The Spy.
You know where it turned for me? When Dart ate Moo.
Shirts versus skins scene.
Well, that too. But when Dart ate Moo.
Wait, did that happen yet?
Yes. I think it did. It may happen. I don't know, but I think it's got to be coming up. But he goes, Mom's trying to find Moo, and she can't find little Moo, the cat. And guess what?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. If Dart had tried that with one of my cats, that dog don't hunt, honey. You'd be limping out.
Exactly.
My poor Finley,
so
God rest his soul. Take care of that real quick.
Oh, I know. God bless. God bless. I thought of Finley when I saw that bodega cat that I sent a picture of and sent to you. I was like, oh, he looks pissed just like Finley.
Man, some tabbies are just pissed. There's no reason. They're just angry. Yeah.
So chapter 6, The Spy. So Will is immediately taken to the hospital wing of Hawkins' lab, and Hopper is taken to a decontamination shower. Steve and Dustin, they go to the basement door with the spiked baseball bat, and they find that Dart has dug a hole through the concrete in the basement and made like a tunnel, like going, like connecting to the rest of the tunnels. Jancy and Murray continue drinking, trying to figure out what the plan is. And Murray tells them that, oh no, you kids have been drinking. You're spending the night. And then Jonathan, he's like, okay, well, can I take the couch? And I just love that Murray just like calls them out on all of their bullshit. Like he just like breaks the fourth wall. He's like, I'm sick of these like on again, off again games. Like, oh, you guys aren't in a relationship. And he just starts like cracking up laughing.
Oh, he just flat out says, if I were you, I would get it over with and just take the bed.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah.
So, no, he's like, we like Steve, but we don't love Steve. Like it's just so funny. Like he just has them totally clocked. That Jonathan and Nancy, they like stir all night denying like what he says, but eventually they both come to terms with, maybe he was right. And then they meet in the living room and they share their first kiss. And it's a cute moment. And I like the music like for this moment too. I don't know. I still like, I like Nancy with either of them, but, in season 2, I'm feeling Jonathan and Nancy for sure. So Erica tells Lucas that Dustin has been radioing like crazy. Dustin tells Lucas to meet him and Steve at the junkyard. Back at the Hawkins lab, they show Hopper the tunnel system leading to a big gate / portal that's in danger. So they like take him down like the descent to show him this like big rift that they are trying, like killing any Demogorgons that are like coming through, like just trying to keep the area like as safe as possible. But you can tell like this thing could like totally blow out of proportion and like turn into a really like the Hawkins lab is like not prepared for this at all.
They're not prepared for
Joyce
anything, not even everything. Security.
Not at all. The following morning, Murray asks Jonathan and Nancy how the pullout was. Which I thought was funny. Lucas and Max, like they sneak off to head to the junkyard as well. They start asking Will some questions at the Hawkins lab, and this is the mind flayer. Like he is totally like taken over right now. Yeah. Like they say like, do you know your name? And he says William Byers, not Will, which is interesting because in the trailer for season 5, we see Vecna refer to Will as William at the very end of it. So that's a good like reference, I think. They ask like, do you Dr. Sam says like, do you know who I am? And Will goes, a doctor. He doesn't remember if they've met before. Like this is totally the mind flayer is like 100% like taking over Will right now.
Why is the mind flayer even trying to? He's half-ass answering that. If you're not going to be convincing, just shut up. Just don't even answer the question. Stop.
Listen, he's not a professional actor. So they test it by burning like a demo slug in front of Will, and Will starts like feeling like a burning sensation and like freaking out again.
Why do I feel sorry for the demo slug? Why do I feel sorry for it? Why does my empathy is that twisted?
I'm with you. An animal is an animal, right? As annoyed as we were with Dustin, like maybe we would have found ourselves in the same situation this season. But so Steve and Dustin, they're dropping meat on the railroad tracks heading to the junkyard. And I love this scene. Like Steve is just giving Dustin some like girl advice, and he tells Dustin his big secret, the Farrah Fawcett hairspray. And I am obsessed with Steve's look in this scene. Like I love the jeans. I love the members only jacket. I love like the yellow gloves. Like his hair just looks like perfect. Like Steve looks like 10 out of 10 here. This is my favorite. It's
that Fabergé shampoo and conditioner and Farrah Fawcett hairspray, which were real things in the 80s.
Hopper tries radioing Al at home, but nobody answers, of course. The lab people overrule Dr. Sam, telling them that they're proceeding with burning the tunnel system, even if it kills Will. Dr. Sam puts the photos of the tunnels together and asks Will to help find him. Will points to a spot and tells them he doesn't want me to see there. I think it's important. Little do we know that this is just like a trap to like kill like a bunch of the,
I knew it was a trap. Come on.
Yeah.
Give me a
Dustin, Lucas, Max, and Steve set up a safety bunker at the school bus in the junkyard. The guards go into the tunnel system with the map and a video feed so they can at least like see what's going on. And then, like the kids at the junkyard, they know like an attack is like incoming, surely. But before like all of the crazy action, like Lucas and Max have a pretty sweet moment on top of the bus. She opens up
Now,
to him about like, yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
I was just going to say the reason why they're in the junkyard is they're trying to lure Dart out of
Yes.
hiding.
Yeah.
And they've boarded up this old ass bus. And, I really enjoyed this scene between Lucas and Max on top of the bus. They kind of, Max opens up to him about her
Mm-hmm.
relationship with her, why they moved, her relationship with Billy, and all of that. And it's a real sweet, I think, bonding moment. And Lucas, meanwhile,
Yeah.
is just smiling at her like, I have great parents. I live in a cush
Yeah.
house. I have no idea. No idea. I can't relate, but I'll be there for you. Bless his little heart. It's just, but it's a good moment. And then all hell breaks loose with those
Yeah.
demodogs or whatever they
Yeah.
are.
So a bunch of demodogs like swarm the junkyard. And like they're about to be taken over, like they are about to be killed, and then all of a sudden the demogorgons, like they get almost like a signal or something. They get like this like feeling, right?
Steve goes out and tries to protect the kids.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I'm telling you, I'm like, I love Steve. I love Steve because he didn't even think twice. He's like, all right, I got it. He's going to be such a good dad someday if he doesn't die in season 5. And he just takes the bull by the horns with his Lucille and goes out there to
Yeah.
take care of business. And then they hear this and they leave. And who is
Yeah.
the voice of who comes up with where are they going? And is it Dustin that goes, they're going back. It looks like they're going back to they're being summoned.
Like, summoned. Yeah. I think it is Dustin.
Duh.
And of course, like then we get like a quick shot of like Lucas and Max are like holding hands when they think that they're like about to be killed. And Dustin, like he sees that, okay, so obviously it was a trap, right? Like the demogorgons, like they find like all the guards in the tunnels, kills them all. Will apologizes, says they made me do it. We shouldn't have upset him. And then the demogorgons start crawling out of the portal, like where they took Hopper like down like in the descent or whatever. And that's the end of the episode. And then that is when we cut to the Lost Sister, which is the worst episode of Stranger Things. This whole episode, in my opinion, is a skip. So I was like, am I gonna like catch some like fresh things like rewatching it again? I think this is maybe only like the third time I've seen this episode. Where
do you want me to wrap this episode up? I could wrap this episode up real quick.
There's nothing that new that I like left this episode being like, wow, this is important to know for season 5 for sure.
This was a good episode to display the punk rock look that was real popular in the 80s. The music, they played some really good music.
Yeah.
This was we reintroduced to number 8 because what's her name? 11 finds a picture of 8 in a file that her I guess her aunt has, is giving her all these files. And what's her name? 11 hears her talking to somebody on the phone. So she, robs basically money out of her wallet and jumps on a bus and finds 8 in Chicago or wherever.
Chicago.
And so she gets there and she finds her and they bond and they have this moment like we're sisters, we're here. We went through the same things together. And they give 11 a punk rock makeover. They slick her hair back, put black eyeliner on her.
I love this look.
It is what it is. And they show her 8 in the gang show 11 this board of people. Okay. And all of these people had something to do with what happened to them in the lab. Okay. Whether it was a nurse, a doctor, an orderly, whatever. So what's Elle recognizes one and she goes, I know him. I can find him. So she does a little thing. She watches bandana, finds him. They go there. The whole time, 8 wants to kill the guy, but they don't kill him because while 11 is doing the Vader choke, Vader
Yeah.
choke, Darth Vader choke on this dude. She sees a picture of 2 little girls, and the other people find 2 little girls who've called the police. Like, well, we got to get out of here. So she stops, and 8 pulls out a gun to shoot him, and she does a little. I can't. I do the neck thing. I can't do the neck thing. But she does the neck thing. Do it. Yeah, she does the neck thing. I can't do it. She does the neck thing. She gets the gun away from her. They get in the van, and 8's all pissed. Look, you may not have wanted to do it, but don't ever make a decision for me like that again. They go back to this warehouse where they're staying, and then, Elle's all upset, hugging a pillow on the bed, and, 8 comes in there and is like, hey, can we talk? Which I don't even know why she's asking permission to come in the room and talk. Bitch, it's your fucking room. You can do whatever you want. Come in there, sit on top of her for all I give a shit. Talk, do what you want. So she's trying to feed 11 all like did they show your mom mercy and blah blah blah, trying to be all like Johnny Lawrence and shit from in the beginning of Cobra Kai, just no mercy. But anyway, she's like, I don't know. So 8 pulls this image of Papa out of her ass, and has Papa speaking with a shitty half-ass British accent, by the way. Go back and watch this. You'll totally hear it.
Is he British?
Matthew Modine does not speak like this at all in the show. I will die on that sword.
Okay.
Take my money now. So I guess she's forcing Elle to see this vision of Papa, and Papa's even telling her, this. No, I don't want to do it. The cops are showing up. They got to go. She knows that, she went and saw Mike, in her creepy stalking thing, and he's screaming it's a trap, and she's like, well, you know what? I got to go. I got to go with my friends. They're about to get busted. They're in the van. She makes a big steel, 8 makes a big steel, wall show up, and they're getting ready to leave. And apparently she could only hold these images for like, what did they say, 90 seconds or something?
Seconds.
Like, it's not a long time.
Yeah.
So we're going back and forth about, should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay or should I go now? We're coming back. So she, in this 90 seconds, I'm sorry, she's not getting in the van, Callie. We're going. So the wall's coming down. They take off, and she goes running down the alley, and she makes it back to Hawkins. But that's it. I mean, and that probably was not the most detail-oriented, interesting by any means. But, dude, that's what we sat through.
Yeah. It's not a good episode.
Yeah.
So this is me telling my future self that's rewatching the series again. There's nothing here that you need to rewatch. Like, this episode could have been an email. All right. So episode 8, chapter 8, the Mind Flayer. So we cut back to Demogorgons crawling out of the portal and invading Hawkins' lab. Joyce, she's getting pretty fed up. She asks Will, do you know who I am? And he can't answer. So they decide to put him under so that he can't be found by the Mind Flayer. They take Will out of the hospital. Max's mom and Billy's dad come home and discover she's escaped, and Billy's getting ready for a date. And Billy's dad gets pretty physically violent with him, and Max's mom just stands there while he's just straight up abusing his son. It's a very uncomfortable scene to watch, but it certainly explains why Billy is the way he is, for sure. His dad tells Billy he has to cancel his date with whatever whore he has lined up, or just the words he uses are so disgusting too. But he says he has to cancel his date and go find Max. The power then goes out of the lab, and they need to manually unlock the doors from the basement, and Bob volunteers to do this because he knows basic. And
which we covered at the beginning of the show.
Yes. Jonathan and Nancy run into Steve, Dustin, Max, and Lucas outside of the lab, which is pretty convenient. Bob successfully unlocks the doors and gates, but they see Demogorgons heading in his direction via some like TV like feeds or whatever. It's very
Well,
like
Dr.
Big Brother
Owens
live
is
feeds.
walking him through everything because once he sees the demo,
Yeah,
because he's got a little earpiece in, and Dr. Owens is
yeah.
walking him through getting out, because he can see with
Mm-hmm.
but the funny thing about all this is how Hopper doesn't think before he sprints into action, and he volunteers to go redo the locks on the computer, and he knows nothing about
Yeah.
compute. Like, this is like
She's
getting
just
me
like,
to
let
do
me just
something.
go in there.
No, it's like it's like putting me on a Mac. It ain't gonna happen. What? I gotta,
Right.
huh? Yeah, so he's like, okay, you do it, and I'll walk you through. And he gives him a gun, and Hopper asks Bob, "You ever shot one of these things?" And he's like, "No."
No.
So that was fun. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Honorable mention.
So you're good. You're good. Bob starts heading towards the front door, and a mop falls, triggering a sound and like triggering all the demodogs to start heading towards the direction of the noise. He makes it to the front lobby. He sees Joyce, and then sadly, Bob gets ambushed by one of the demodogs, and he's just being like ripped apart right in front of Joyce. She is just like
because the other
standing
ones
there
show up.
paralyzed.
Yeah.
She's like standing there paralyzed, like just watching this happen. And Hopper, he tries to like shoot some of the Demogorgons, but like quickly realizes like we are like far outnumbered here, and like unfortunately like we just have to leave Bob. And this is certainly like a trope in The Walking Dead a little bit, like leaving like somebody behind that's like already being eaten to like give yourself like a getaway, like that kind of thing. But man, poor Bob, he is just the epitome of like nice guys finish last in my opinion.
I'll be honest with you. This was the first time, or the one and only time, that I have shed a tear during this show, because he's an unlikely hero, and he did an unselfish thing. What is it? Selfless. He did a selfless thing.
Yeah.
He took a chance, and he did, to help them, and he sacrificed himself. And you can't ever count a man out. Don't ever count anyone out. You never know what they're capable of and what they can do. And
Totally.
they might just save your life one way or another. But yeah. that was pretty sad. That was real sad.
So they all head to the buyer's house together, and they all agree like they need to kill the Mind Flayer or the Demogorgons, or like they don't have all the answers, but they know like we need to attack and we need to like
we need to get every portable heater in town and point it at Will. Okay, just do it.
Yeah. So that's why they go to the buyer's house, is because they're gonna like take Will to like the back cabin, and like make like a blank room basically. So like whatever the Mind Flayer is seeing, there's no kind of like indicating clues of the environment he's in, where he's at, so that like the Mind Flayer like can't find Will. Dustin like then briefly explains like how the Mind Flayer works in terms of like Dungeons and Dragons terms, which I thought was really good. A good scene for
that
Dustin.
is the best scene, because he's explaining it to Hopper, and Hopper's like, "Oh, what?" He goes, "A demon dog." "Oh, what? It's a demon in it. What does that matter?" "It doesn't. Never mind."
I love it. Yeah. Dustin lets Lucas know that he they acknowledge the elephant in the room, that like Max has like chosen Lucas over Dustin at this point. But I think Dustin and Lucas, like, they very quickly realize that, like, listen, this doesn't need to be like a thing that like ends our friendship or anything. So I'm glad that like they're acknowledging it.
Is it the slingshot? Okay, that's what I
thought. Lots of silent like character pans while they're all like waiting for an attack at the house. Like Nancy has her gun. Mike has his candlestick. Everybody has their weapon of choice.
Have their weapons from the game Clue.
Right. They wake up Will and start to interrogate him, and like the lights start flickering like crazy, and he's shouting, "Let me go, let me go." Joyce like then she tries like telling Will a story about his birthday being March 22nd, how she got him a box of crayons and stuff like that. And I'm just sitting here watching this being like, oh my God, don't tell like the mind flayer, like all
You're
of this like
giving it all the
personal.
information it needs.
Yes, exactly. Jonathan shares a story about like building Castle Byers in the rain. Will shares like some stories as well, but then like Will starts noticing like Mike is like, or Mike notices Will is like tapping like on his leg, like
He's
what's
doing Morse
seems like
code.
random patterns, but he's doing Morse code. Yeah. Then he hears the phone ring, and that's like the mind flayer's like he can like pinpoint right away like where exactly that phone is ringing and stuff. And that like clues like or that like guides all of the demo dogs to start heading towards Byers' house, so they know like it's about to go down here. Everybody's gearing up for the fight. They hear like all of this like thrashing from Demogorgons outside. The door opens, and it's 11. And Allison, this is probably like one of my favorite music moments in the series. Like I love the score of the entire series. Like it's so like 80s like synths and stuff like that. But like
everything about the music is 80, yeah.
The music of the reveal of 11 here is so freaking cool to me. And that's the end of the second to last episode. So we cut right to chapter 9, The Gate. So we have like a little reunion between Mike and 11. Like Mike is seeing 11 for the first time in like over a year. But then he has this like outburst like towards Hopper, which like it's cringe, but like it's just, also like,
you know,
I don't
Mike's
know.
angry.
My thing is,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, first we got Max trying to introduce herself to 11. You can't gloss over that. And she basically pushes her out of the way. 11 pushes her out of the way to get to Mike. Mike is beyond pissed. He's so pissed, his voice is changing while he's yelling. I mean, it is going up and down, up and down. He's angry at Hopper because he's kept her hidden this entire time. He's swinging at him. He's doing everything he can. And, you know, I'm just saying, Finn Wolfhard just pushing for that Emmy nod. So, you know, Hopper just holds him and he's like, I know, dude. I know, you know, and they, you know, kind of come have a moment and whatnot. But I thought was, you know, whatever. Dude, if I swung at my mom or dad at that, I would have been slapped so hard and knocked back in time to rethink that decision. What is what with these kids? Anyway.
I think okay, so like this is like my weird interpretation of it, but I think that Mike in that moment, like he ultimately knows that like Hopper was doing the right thing and keeping her safe, but Mike does not have, I feel like he can't be like emotionally vulnerable with a father figure like Ted. And I feel like Hopper is like the closest thing. Like I feel like this is Mike realizing that Hopper is like a father figure type of role in his life.
Yeah, but I'm going to say something. I don't think for a second that he thought that Hopper was doing the right thing. Mike is not that deep of a thinker. Okay, he's thinking about number one, and that's Mike Wheeler. Okay, this kid is spoiled rotten, bad parenting. Just think about it for a minute, because somebody's about to show up. And we got to talk about how he got directions.
Wait, say that again? You broke up.
I said somebody's about to show up, and we've got to talk about how he got directions.
Yeah. Wait, who? Billy?
Billy.
Or the mind flayer? Okay, I wasn't sure who you were talking about. Sorry, I'm having like internet issues.
They show.
I don't know am I lagging? Am I okay?
My internet's so fucked up. Excuse my language. I don't know what's going on. I feel like every time I talk, I'm interrupting you, and I think you're not talking. So I start talking, and then you're talking. I hear you speak, and I'm like, shit. Did I just cut him off? I'm sorry. I'm not trying. So if I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. But I will say this: you're not talking, right? You're not talking.
You're good. Okay, so you're good.
Billy, dad has slapped him back into that Camaro to find his stepsister. Okay, Maxine. Because he calls her Maxine. He means business. And he ends up at the Wheeler house. Yeah. Mr. Wheeler's dead to the world in his recliner. Mrs. Wheeler's about to rub one out in the bathtub. Okay, we all know, we know. And she's reading one of those trashy novels. Trust, when that's next to the bathtub, Mama's been busy cleaning
I love this
everything,
scene.
everything. So the doorbell, she gets out of the bathtub wet. First of all, what time of night is it? And I'm wet in a bathrobe answering the front door, please. There's Billy with his shirt open. Just, oh, I didn't know Nancy had a sister. And I'm like, oh Lord, I'm already
Mrs. Wheeler.
Mrs. Wheeler. This is a good scene. This is a very
I
good
agree.
Scene.
I love this
scene. Season 3. It plays into season 3 really well because he is really a charmer. He lays it on like even I'm like, oh, yes, come take a bath with me. And I said, you want to see what I'm doing? You want to read some of my book? Want to read an excerpt of my book? Anyway, so she gives them directions to the buyer's house, draws them a map. I don't know how people followed maps. I've never been a map reader, but they do it.
Right.
Gets a map. And Billy's smart enough to follow a map. So that's how he's en route to the buyer's home.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then back at the buyer's home. Oh, well, no, first, like,
I don't know if you're frozen or if I'm frozen. Are you frozen? I don't know. Am I frozen? Who's frozen? Am I in the us now? Am I in the now memories? I think I'm in the upside.
Are we? I think we're in the tunnel system here. Maybe that's
I'm in the tunnel
Wi-Fi
with Hopper and the torch with our magic torch.
Sorry, I'm just like giddy after like I love that scene so much. It is so funny to me. Like even how like she's like oh, you must be here for Nancy, and he's like, no, she's not my type. Like every single line is just so good.
And then he eats a cookie. She offers him a cookie and he takes a bite out of that cookie. You eat that cookie, Billy.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so back at the buyer's house, you know, Mike's worried that closing the gate will. Okay, so they figure out like through Morse code, like Will is saying close gate. So Mike's worried that closing the gate like could possibly mean killing Will. So Joyce decides they need to get the mind flayer out of Will by making the host uncomfortable. So they get like all of these like heat lamps, like they try to make it as uncomfortable for Will as possible. We get a little scene with Steve and Nancy. Steve basically like tells Nancy like, it's okay that you've moved on. It's okay that you're with Jonathan. Like, I totally understand. Like,
I mean, it's literally been 2 days. It's been 2 days, Nance.
Yeah.
2, if at all. But it's okay.
Yeah, but he's like understanding. He's forgiving. Like it could have been like way worse. Elle and Hopper have a little catch up. She like tells him that she visited her mom, and Hopper finally tells Elle like the story about his daughter Sarah dying and stuff like that, and that's why like parenting for him has been so tough. Billy shows up to the buyer's house. Him and Steve have this like huge fight back and forth. He throws Lucas up against the wall because like if he can't hurt Max, like he's gonna hurt Lucas, and he gets like pretty violent with Lucas. But then Max grabs the syringe, gets Billy in the neck, causes him to like get like loopy and almost pass out.
He's literally
and she
killing
takes the spiked baseball bat. Yeah. She slams it like right where his crotch is, and she's like, do you understand? Say you understand. And it's echoing like what his dad just said to him, but like in a funny way, because it's like this like young girl just like basically like all of these like Billy thinks of himself as so strong, but like all these people just take turns just like totally showing him up and like dominating him.
It's sad.
It is sad.
It really is sad. But I do love that it's sad, but he beat Steve's ass, or his face rather.
Yeah.
He beat his face.
Yeah.
So,
Go. Steve wakes up in the back of the car and Max is driving. Lucas then screams like a little girl again. They put a bunch of heat lamps in front of a tied down Will. Jonathan's freaking out. He can't watch, and Joyce is staying firm. She's like, no, let's make it hotter. The kids and Steve go to the tunnels and decide to torch it. Elle and Hopper venture to Hawkins' lab. They find Dr. Owens in rough shape, and Hopper introduces Elle to him. He asks Dr. Owens if he can help Elle like lead like a normal life, which I think is like really good, a good like growing sign for them, that like he's like advocating for Elle to have like a better life, and she sees that. The kids drench the tunnels in gasoline. The mind flayer, through Will, grabs Joyce's neck and is like choking her while she's trying to like get like the mind flayer out of like shit's like going down right now. Nancy then grabs a metal rod from the fireplace and brands Will, and that's when he lets go of Joyce. Once the tunnels start getting torched by fire, the Demogorgons start retreating, and the mind flayer leaves Will. Like we see it like exit his body and then like leave like the house. Nancy sees it like just kind of like wisp away like outside into the night sky, and that's the last we see of the mind flayer, like for now anyway. So Will is okay, thankfully. Hopper and Elle make it to their final descent to close the gate. They get the okay from the gang that Will is fine. Dustin sees Dart in the tunnel. He gives it a Three Musketeers. Like that's like a whatever. Like I don't really care about this moment, but like it's a good like wrap up for this like arc for him, I guess. And then all of them escape the tunnels. Elle, she is like, this is the first time we see Elle like levitating. She is like channeling so much with. She's channeling so much energy to close this gate, and Hopper is like protecting her by like shooting all the Demogorgons that are like trying to attack her and stop this from happening. But Elle successfully closes the gate. And that's kind of the end of like the climax of the action for season 2. We get like a throwaway of like Barb's death being explained as a poisoning of toxic chemicals.
They had a funeral. Yeah, they have the Joe. I'm sorry.
Hopper and Dr. Sam meet up. He gives Hopper a birth certificate for Elle. So like now Elle can lead a normal life. He said like, you know, stay like under the radar like a little longer. And he says like, can she have like one night out at least? And he agrees to that, which is really sweet. Then we get like a cute little montage of like Lucas. He's like practicing how he's going to ask Max to slow dance. Again, Mike is annoyed with all the Polaroids his mom's taking, and Will is getting dance lessons from Joyce.
Dude, he's lucky somebody wants to take a picture of his ass.
Dustin gets his Farrah Fawcett hairspray, and we get like one last like scene from Steve and Dustin together. Steve is hyping up Dustin in the car, tells him to go in there and have a I don't give a shit attitude, and Dustin's like, yeah, I'm gonna go in there, but like of course immediately like once he walks in, like all of his confidence just like leaves right away.
Oh, it's so okay. I correct
so
myself.
Accurate though.
I got misty-eyed during this part. This is the snowball middle school dance.
Yeah. Winter
Nancy,
dance.
Yeah, Nancy is a chaperone, so she's pouring punch and stuff. And I felt I'm gonna be okay. We're gonna tell the story time. Give me a second. I'm gonna tell the story about little Allison. Okay, I was at the Shadowlawn Middle School dance. It was like 1991. Okay. And
the year I was born.
No, I don't want to tell the story. No, I was 14. I was at this day. I had my mom's friend, her daughter curled my hair, gave me a little outfit to wear, and nobody wanted to. Nobody. I got made fun of. It was terrible. When I tell y'all, it was nightmare. Okay, 91 was not a good year for little Allison. Okay, so Dustin comes in with his hair all curled and spiffied, and is asking girls to dance to Cyndi Lauper's "Time After Time," which that song gets me. I can't. It's terrible. It's so good. It'll get you. It'll get you. So he's standing there and everybody's dancing. Elle shows up. She's dancing with Mike, Max, and Luke. Everybody's got somebody to dance with. And poor Dusty's just standing there with his eyes watering. And I'm like, my heart is completely broken. And then Nancy walks over and asks him to dance. And they dance together. And she gives him some really good advice. And it's very
Mm-hmm.
heartwarming. And this whole end scene I liked because Hopper and Joyce are outside. Jesus, these two chain smoke like crazy. And they're out, what are they smoking?
Yeah.
Camels? I don't know. I can't remember. So there's chain smoking,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and she breaks down and starts crying over Bob, and he holds her. And every breath you take by the Police is playing, and
I love
everything
that
just
song.
falls and the end shot is the flip of the town. Okay.
Well, hold on. We got Lucas and Max. They shared their first kiss,
But yes, they
and
got a
also
kiss.
Mike and 11. They finally kiss as well. But yeah, so the camera like zooms out outside of the high school dance. Like we get this really cool shot of it, just like here. Maybe I can do it with my laptop, but like it just like turns
Yeah, it
upside
does.
down.
Oh, it's just it's a money. That's what we
So
call a
cool.
money shot. That is
Money
a
shot.
money
Yeah.
shot. I love it.
Yeah.
It really is.
And we see the mind flayer like just like overlooking the high school dance. So, and that's where we end season 2. Like the mind flayer has not been defeated. He just retreated, but he still has his eye on Hawkins, on Will specifically. That's kind of my interpretation of like that very last like shot, is like the mind flayer is still interested in Will and looking for him. So yeah, I just yeah, it's so like I said, like I feel like the action goes from like 0 to 100. Like I would say maybe like 70% of the way into the season is when it like really starts kicking up. But like holy shit, those like last 2 episodes where they're trying to get the mind flayer out of Will are just crazy.
If you ever want to kick me out, all you've got to do is crank up the heat. I'm just saying. I don't like
I see
being
it.
hot. I don't
Yeah.
want to be hot. I will leave in a heartbeat. You don't have to tell me to go. You
Yeah.
pop that heat, you turn the heat off in the summer, pop that thermostat up to 80, Allison will be out the door. I'm
There you go.
not doing it. I'm not doing
Yeah.
it. But I just wanted to give some honorable mentions.
Yeah. 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 Do you have some like pop culture references?
Well, some of the music that they played were songs that, dude, I remember playing on vinyl. My
Yeah.
mother I have these records. I'm not kidding you. I have these records upstairs. I have Cyndi Lauper, She's So Unusual on vinyl, original from 1983. I have the
Uh-huh.
Police, Ghost in the Machine, which has Every Breath You Take on it. We even have Corey Hart, I Wear My Sunglasses at Night. And there's some other songs. I mean,
sunglasses at night.
there's something about listening to that on a record player back then. That in the background of a record,
Yeah.
just you cannot replace that. And they just have they play the Clash, the Bangles, there's some Duran Duran, Devo, Oingo Boingo, and Scorpions and Metallica. They even threw in Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers, Islands in the Stream. So they had a couple of those. And yeah, and real quick before we wrap this up, I just want to point out a couple of little 1984 versus 2025 tidbits. I don't know if I sent this, but it's just real quick. I'm not going to read the whole thing. So just think about where we are now. And in 1984, let's see, in 1984, key developments included the creation of the first 3D printer and a 1 megabyte chip by Hitachi. Okay.
That's crazy.
The IBM AT computer was introduced, and that was a big step in like personal computing and all that. No lie. Now you get to 2025. The landscape is dominated by the internet, smartphones, and social media, with billions of users on platforms like like this social media and all that is a growing trend and is a big percentage of how people communicate. It is, believe it or not. Let's see, whatever.
Okay, it's crazy. Like 1 megabyte was on like a chip, and then I have like, I don't know if you can see this, but like this little memory card here is 512 gigabytes. Like that's how far we've come.
Listen, I had,
Isn't that
I'm telling
crazy?
you, I had to do a project on a floppy disk in high school. And listen,
Yeah.
Allison did not,
Good old floppy
this
disks.
is like 93 or something. It was the first year we had computers at Bartlett High School. And we were working on this project, okay, on the computer. Well, you had to take your floppy out you had to take my floppy out and take it home. I had to put it in this special thing, to keep it from getting bent. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. You bend a floppy disk, excuse me, Jesus, you are fucked. That's it. That's it. You're Bob.
There's no
You're
going back.
Bob the
Yeah.
brain fucked. You're fucked. You know what I'm saying? So I had been working on this project in computer science, and it was time to turn it in, and my floppy got bent. You couldn't even put a bent floppy. You didn't take the chance. There was no canned air back then. Give me a break. So my
Yeah.
teacher, who knew I was working really hard on it, because god dang, I had my hand up every 2 seconds asking for help because I was lost, gave me she goes, well, I know the word. I know. She says, I'm going to give you the lowest C, like a 70 was a
Hmm.
C or almost a D, but it was like a really low, like a
Yeah.
high C, almost in low C, whatever. I don't know what they are now. And I took it because she didn't have to do that. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, floppies were no joke. Y'all don't know how freaking lucky you are now. Y'all don't even have to carry books. You have iPads. It's insane to me. Like, what are we talking about? 1984, a significant political concept was George Orwell's novel,
1984.
1984, which portrayed a society under constant surveillance. What?
That's the origin of Big Brother.
2025 contemporary political discussions include projects like Project 2025, which advocates for expanding the president's control over the execution branch.
Yes.
We have no privacy. And people are like, it's out there.
Yeah.
You are your own blueprint. And it just is. I want to bring up 2 minutes and we're out of here. What do you think about this Millie Bobby Brown Bon Jovi versus John Harbor harassment during?
Oh gosh.
It's not sexual harassment. It's just
Right.
harassment that she filed with Net or whatever at the beginning of season 5.
Yeah. So between last week's show and this week, there was some news that broke that Millie Bobby Brown filed like a harassment claim against David Harbour
Over a year ago.
Yeah. Prior to the filming of season 5. So I would imagine there was a lot of tension on set between the two of them for the filming of season 5, considering, from the trailers and stuff, it looks like the two of them spend a majority of the season in the Upside Down together, like on their own. So like it's a lot of like scenes of just the two of them. So I don't know. I believe it though, because Lily Allen just came out with a new album, and I didn't listen to the album, but I was listening to this podcast that they like talk about like pop culture and blind items and stuff. And basically the Lily Allen's album is about her and David Harbour's marriage and how like it started out great, but then pretty quickly after they got married and they got their house, like David Harbour wanted to open up their marriage, and Lily Allen was like not okay with that. He basically like forced her into having an open relationship, and she found like all these like shoe boxes of like sex toys and like letters from like past lovers that he's kept and like all of this shit. So I don't know. It just feels like David Harbour's a weird fucking dude is kind of like the takeaway that I'm getting from all of this stuff.
You know what he sounds? He sounds
so
like
I
a
believe the
regular
allegation.
50-year-old man to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He sounds like I was thinking about it. I was reading about it a little bit, and the timing of this, they started filming season 5 in January of 2024. So this was nearly 2 years ago, and it's just now coming out. And they made it very clear that it was not sexual, which is, good. I'm glad to hear that, because I would hate that for them.
Yeah.
I like David Harbour. I don't I hope this doesn't dismantle his career. I don't know what he does in his personal life. I just know he entertains me as an actor, and he's done some great movies and shows, obviously. Um, I don't know either one of them, but what I do know is David Harbour and I are the same generation. We're the same age, give or take a year or two, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And I really feel like this is I'm sorry, JoJo, you're getting too big for this. You're killing me. My neck hurts. Sorry. I really feel like this could very well be a generational thing.
Hmm.
Some people are set in their ways when they get a certain age and they ain't changing for anybody, and they say and do things
Yeah.
that someone you're a 50-year-old man working with a 20-year-old woman, you're gonna fuck up. You're gonna say and do
Yeah.
the wrong thing. It is totally different generations, and there's no telling what he said or did. Being an older guy, I'm not making excuses for him, but it is two completely generations. It also Billy or whatever, Millie Bobby, whatever. I keep wanting to call her Millie Bob Thornton for some reason, and I apologize for that. Uh, Millie Bobby is, she's 21, and I feel like she kind of lives in a glass bubble. She's never been out. Honestly, come on, let's be
Yeah.
real for a second.
Kind of
She's
like
never been out
11.
in the real world. She doesn't know how people are. She doesn't
Yeah,
know how
I
people
agree.
can be. And I tell you what, right now, you let that girl loose working in an office for 2 weeks, she will come back going, let's just drop that harassment. It's not a big deal. Yeah, she'll say, obviously it was nothing. But her feelings are valid, whatever. But I just feel like it's one of those just misunderstanding an older person and a younger. I have said things in front of my son and my daughter-in-law, and they've been like, "Oh, okay, you can't say that," or this, okay, why? And who knows, maybe she did say stop doing that, and he didn't, because he's older and
Yeah.
he ain't gonna change. Nobody's asking you to change who you are, David. They're asking you to change how you behave at work, because you're at work. I don't care how fun it is filming Stranger Things. It's a job, just like I have a job and you have a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Conduct does not change because you're filming on a movie set. Inappropriate's inappropriate, and it is what it is. But I feel like it's a
Yeah.
generational thing. There's no have you tried to carry on a conversation with a 20-year-old? God damn, it's impossible.
Especially with Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah.
Oh my god,
Um,
I don't even know much. Millie Bobby Brown is fine. I looked at her Instagram, and listen, she's a big advocate for her period pimples, putting patches on them and that kind of thing. She's an advocate. She's passionate about her period, and that's
listen,
a good
she's
thing.
just
She wrote a book
She
about her
cares
now.
about skincare.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, get out.
One last thing I wanted to share is so the game that Beth and I play all the time, Dead by Daylight, that we always tell you to download and play with us. So they have a Stranger Things chapter, and so I just wanted to show two outfits that are or two like skins of Nancy and John, or Nancy and Steve, that are from this season. So these are two of the characters and like outfits that you can wear in Dead by Daylight that are from Stranger Things season 2, and they have a map for Hawkins Lab. So like one of the places you can play out is in the Hawkins laboratory, which is cool. But yeah, just wanted to show that. So this is Steve and Nancy, obviously from Stranger Things. You're giving like a sour face.
I don't like it. What is going on with Nancy's dude? She's aged 30 years.
Listen, the character models are not the best. Girl, you want to see a bad character model? I have to show you Maggie from The Walking Dead.
She should be wearing mom jeans. Steve looks okay. That's just weird. Like her hair is like, no, I don't know. I don't know too bad. Looks like a poodle perm haircut.
Let's see. I'll have a picture of Maggie next week for you. I need to find like a good one that her hair is like so bad. But yeah, so that is season 2 in a nutshell. I'm really excited for season 3. I really love season 3 of Stranger Things. Like the mall aesthetic is so freaking cool. And that mall, my mom worked in that mall as a teenager selling jewelry at a K Jewelers.
Is that
So
mall still
pretty cool.
standing?
Yes, we should go.
We should go. Where is it? Where's it located?
It's
That
in
mall.
Gwinnett County,
Gwinnett-
Georgia.
I forget that they film all of this in Georgia.
Yeah, like all of it. Yeah.
So, okay. Well, yeah, we'll be back next week where we recap season 3 in all its glory. All the complete disrespect that Mike and 11 show Hopper shutting that door.
Yeah.
3 inches.
It is so like
3
teen
inches.
drama.
Oh,
it's very like pubescent. You know what I mean? Like it's very like horny teenagers, like for the first time.
I don't want to see Mike's O face in season 5. I'm just telling you that.
Oh no,
I won't come back from that. I will not put me in the upside down.
I don't need to see that. All right, guys. Well, so we'll be back next week, and we'll be able to talk about the first 5 minutes of season 5 of Stranger Things too. So can't wait for some answers to what happened to Will in the Upside Down finally.
We're not going to get that in the first 5 minutes.
I think we might. I think maybe. I'm pretty sure like the first the Duffers posted like a picture of like the first line of in like the script of season 5, and it was like panning up to Will in the Upside Down, a familiar song starts playing ... So like that's probably
it's gonna be a flashback to 1983 abduction. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like at least we'll have answers to that. So I don't know. Can't wait. But all right. Well, everybody have a good rest of your night. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye.